the Koroks. Everyone's favourite kinda cute, kinda creepy wood babies are returning in 2017's Breath of the Wild. But what actually are they, and what are they up to? Recently, Nintendo posted an update on their Legend of Zelda Facebook page, with the caption, "The Koroks are back in the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild." In this short teaser, we see 3 Koroks, 2 of which we've seen before, and 1 of which we haven't, under the tree roots, which wasn't present in the demo version. Aside from this Korok, there isn't actually anything new in this teaser, but it's nice to hear anything about the game. We've currently, to my count, seen 5 different Koroks on the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild, and interestingly, they're all Koroks we've seen before in the Wind Waker: Elma, Olivio, Hollow, Aldo, and Urch. These Koroks hide all around the world, and when Link discovers them, they'll give him a mysterious Korok seed, the use of which we'll get back to later. But this teaser got me thinking about the Koroks in Breath of the Wild. Why are they here, and what can we learn about Breath of the Wild from their presence? First off, I'll explain exactly what the Koroks are. The Koroks are forest spirits, the very same beings that we knew in Ocarina of Time as the Kokiri, a group of children who lived in Kokiri Forest. Whether the Koroks evolved from the Kokiri, or whether they're just a different form of the same spirit, is a little bit ambiguous. Either way, they're both born from the Great Deku Tree, the forest guardian who acts as a father figure. The Koroks found in Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild are heavily inspired from the Japanese yokai called Kodama. Kodama are spirits that inhabit trees in Japanese folklore. Originally, they were said to be deities of nature that dwelled in trees, or that they just happened to look like trees. Folklore's a little bit convoluted. Either way, around the Edo period of Japan's history, between 1603 and 1868, the Kodama became humanized, with stories being told of the spirits taking human forms to find lovers. In 1997, Studio Ghibli released the famous anime film Princess Mononoke, which featured what is now the most famous design for Kodama: small, childlike creatures with large black eyes that make a distinct rattling noise. In Princess Mononoke, the Kodama are a sign that the forest is healthy, and their lives are tied with the life of the forest spirit. When the forest spirit is killed, the Kodama begin to die, and after it's healed, they begin to return. But what does all this have to do with Breath of the Wild? Well, just compare the Koroks to Studio Ghibli's Kodama. They're both small, cute forest spirits who make a distinctive rattling noise, and their lives are tied in some way to a guardian of the forest which looks over them. A further connection to the Kodama comes when you look at the locations of the Koroks in the Great Plateau. All 5 Koroks we've seen so far have either been in or near to a large wooded area called the Forest of Spirits. This is all in the same vein as Mononoke's Kodama, who inhabited a large forest governed by the forest spirit. From this, we can infer that the Great Deku Tree will make an appearance in Breath of the Wild, likely in the heart of the game's largest forested region, which is here on the map. We can deduce this because the lives of the Koroks are tied to that of the Great Deku Tree, similarly to Kodama and the forest spirits in Princess Mononoke, and if the Koroks are alive and well in Breath of the Wild, so must be the Great Deku Tree. A Korok in the Wind Waker says that, "If we are unable to hold our ceremony, we will not be able to raise any new forests. If that comes to pass, then evil days will follow. The Great Deku's tree power will wane, and our power will wane with it. We might even wither altogether." Now we'll look at a large mystery surrounding the little wooden folk, which is what exactly the Korok seed does. One of these seeds is given to Link by each Korok he discovers in the overworld, with the elusive description, "This small seed was given to you by a Korok. It has a distinct smell. If you gather a bunch of them, you never know what may happen." In the Wind Waker, the Koroks were on a mission to repopulate the land with forests and push back the waters, by planting seeds on islands across the ocean. However, the land is pretty much already covered in trees in Breath of the Wild, so we can rule out this idea for the use of the Korok seed. However, there's a plant that makes a few appearances in important places in Breath of the Wild, and that's this mysterious flower. These flowers appear around the Master Sword, around a ruined guardian, and even in the game's logo itself. Usually for something to appear in a game's logo, it has to be a pretty central element. So what could these flowers do that's so important? What if these flowers are in some way tied to the story of the game, and the Korok seed is used to grow them? It's worth pointing out that when the game's logo is shown for the first time, the flower grows from the Z, suggesting that the actual growth of these flowers is a feature in the game, rather than them already being present in certain locations. Judging from the game's description of the seeds, and the fact that they're stored in the Key Items tab along with important items like the Sheikah Slate, it seems that they'll play a relatively large role in the game. And because of the emphasis on these mysterious flowers in the reveal trailer, it's possible that they're all grown from Korok seeds. For what purpose, I'm not sure. It'll all become clearer when we get more information. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more Breath of the Wild content. What do you think the Korok seed could be used for? Leave it in the comments below. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.